You've probably heard of efforts by various states to ban critical race theory, or to withhold millions of dollars in funding from schools that teach it. What is critical race theory? How did it become the latest rallying cry of conservatives? The answers to these questions show us that these attacks are only one part of their concerted efforts to undermine social justice for communities of color. But let's start at the beginning. Critical race theory was developed in the 1970s and 1980s by legal scholars such as Derek Bell, Angela Harris, and Mexican-American scholar Richard Delgado, to study how race is central to the creation of laws. In other words, how the laws of the United States have been influenced by race, and in some cases, how the law perpetuates racism. The principles of critical race theory have spread beyond the legal field, including into education and history. And this is precisely what has so many conservatives hot and bothered. Yet, many of them can't articulate what critical race theory is. What they are really against is a truthful retelling of our nation's history, a story that is honest and factual about slavery, colonialism, racial segregation, mass deportations based on race, and more. As long as they deny students the right to learn about their own histories, they'll be denying the country an opportunity to heal. Conservatives' efforts to keep Americans from learning factual American history are not new. Learning our own history and heritage has never come without a fight. We've met resistance ever since the first Chicano studies program was founded in 1968 at Cal State LA. In 2010, legislators in Arizona banned Mexican American studies, and it was not until 2017 that a federal judge forbade the state from enforcing such laws. While Texas approved an ethnic studies course in 2018, Governor Greg Abbott has signed into law a bill that severely limits how educators talk about issues of race. Taking Texas history is still a graduation requirement in that state. However, the version that is taught all but whitewashes the contributions of Latinos. In places like Texas, Latino students represent the majority of K-12 public schools, accounting for 52.8% of the enrollment in the 2019-2020 school year. However, Latino students are twice as likely to drop out of high school than white students. Culturally relevant classes can help. One study found that students who took an ethnic studies class had increased attendance, higher GPAs, and earned more credits. The success of our students means the success of our country. Our education system should be inclusive and provide a path for an equitable future. There are bright spots. For example, the Los Angeles Unified Board of Education voted to make ethnic studies a requirement for high school graduation by the 2023-2024 school year, a policy that the state government is poised to follow. Let's remember that attacks on teaching truthful American history have never come in a vacuum. They are only one part of a strategy to undermine our democracy, which is why registering to vote and then voting in local, state, and federal elections is critically important to ensuring our education system upholds values of inclusivity and justice for all.